Hey guys, welcome back. Hope all of you are doing well. Today I'm going to do two small canvases with you guys. These two canvas, they're both 8 by 8 inch. And the idea here is that I'm going to do a bright blue base. This is primary blue. I want it to be dark, but not too dark, like not more on the black shade, but still be very vibrant. So I'm going to use this as my base color. I'm going to give it, complement it with a lighter blue. Going to use some metallics and white, very little bit. So that's what you have over here is copper, gold, and some white. This is transparent mixing white, but you can go with, just your regular white as well, the opaque one, titanium white. I like to sometimes use a bit of transparent and opaque colors because I feel that with the varying consistency, I might get some interesting details and it's more of an experiment. Now, that's going to be the colors that I use in both the paintings, but I'm going to give it some contrast. In one of the paintings, I'll use phthalo blue, and in the other painting, I wanted to try this red shade. It's called Rose Madder, and it's got a little bit of pink red in it, but it's still a very dark color. And it's by Brustro acrylics that I get in India over here. Maybe you get them abroad. I don't know. You'll have to check. Other than that, all the others are Liquitex colors. And I'm going to mix these colors with only tap water. No pouring medium. I never use Floetrol. I just feel keep it simple sometimes. I do use Liquitex pouring medium at times. But in this case, I'm going to just do painted water. And I feel sometimes you get better details and a bit more interest with cells and lacing happening if you do that. Okay, so I never measure my colors, the ratio between the water and the paint, or when I use the pouring medium. I just, eyeball and go with the consistency. But today I thought I have the scale here. And maybe for you guys, since I get a lot of questions on how much water I added or how much pouring medium I added. Well, in this case, I'm just doing painted water. So I'm going to maybe measure one of them and let's figure it out together. How much water goes in, how much paint goes in my mixtures. So let's get on with it and let's do this together. Okay, guys, so I'm switching on the measuring scale, and let's put this cup. It weighs 3 grams. This is set to grams, but 1 gram is 1 milliliter. So you can just convert it if you have a scale in metric rather. So this is 3 grams. I'm putting it back to 0, and then let's squeeze some paint into this. So let's see. That's 7. It's going to be my base color, so I need a lot of it. So I might need 2 cups of this. So right now, say, okay, 41. But say this is 40 grams of paint. Or to make it easier, maybe I can just do, okay, 40 grams should be enough because this cup will overflow. All right, so that's 40 grams of paint. And then, hold on, tap this. Yep, 41 grams. Now let's zero this and let's see how much water I need. Now you should put little bit by little bit, and that's what I usually do. But since I'm measuring for you guys, I'm going with a number that I think will work. And then if I need to add some more, we can just add on those many. So I'm going with, say, 15. Oops. Okay, that's 16. All right, so that's 40 grams of paint and 16 or 15 grams of water. Now you mix this, and I'll let you know, since I never measure, I'll let you know if this is the consistency that I usually look for. And you know, if you do the ratio of this, you could take out the percentage, you know, by multiplying by, you know, X by 100. So you can take out what X is, which is the percentage. Okay, that's still very, very thick. So 40 grams of paint and 15 grams was too thick, so I'm going with more. So that's 20 grams. You always have to stop a little bit before, because the scale registers it after a few seconds, and you might just overdo it then. So if it's 40 grams of paint, and right now I have 20 grams of water, that's 50%. And it's getting there, but it's still very, very thick. So I need more. Okay, let me take out this, because this will add also the weight. That's showing me there, 20 almost. So I'm going with more. That should be about 25. Yep. Yeah, it's getting better. I'll go with a little bit more water, as I want it to be thin and runny. So you see that? I hope you guys can see it. Wait. All right. There we go. So right now, keep it close, and it's making a slight mound. So I want it to be a little bit even more thinner than that. So that was 25 grams, a little bit more, say about 30. That's 29. That's about 30. Still reading 29, but that's about 30. Yep, that's it. So now I know, and now you guys know, how I mix this paint. I eyeball it, never measure, but today I have. And see, it makes a slight mound, and then it just disappears. And it's perfect. So guys, 40 grams of paint, 30 grams of water is what I would suggest. If you need to do more, just double it. If you need to do less, half it, or just have the ratio taken out between the two, and you get your paint and water consistency. Let's get on with the other colors. So let's do another one. That's 3 grams. I've zeroed this. Now I'm going to use this light blue color, and I'm going to do maybe 20 grams, half it, because you know, it's not going to be my base color, it's going to be the top colors, and I don't need much of it, but I am going to do two small paintings. So I'm going to do 20 grams. There. 20 grams of paint. And so if I did 40 grams, I did 30 grams of water. So 20 grams of paint. I'm going to do 15 grams of water. Now I'm going to add Now let's see if this is the consistency I want. Do add your water in stages. I mean, this is just to show you guys how much water and how much paint. But do try to add your water little bit by little bit. Stir it, add a little bit more, And, I'm doing grams just because the scale is, but, I mean, milliliters, what, the measurement should be. But it's the same. So there's a little bit of science behind all this, which I tend to ignore, which most people tend to ignore. But, after you've done quite a few of these paintings, you don't even really need to measure. I have so far never measured my paint in water or paint in pouring medium. I literally eyeball and go with the consistency just by the feel and look of it. And it works out. And you'll get, you'll see what works for you. Once you do a few of them, no matter how much you get, somebody teaches you or you see videos of other people doing it, until you do it yourself, you will never really get to know what works for you. All right, yep, that's it. That's the same consistency as the others. So let me mix the other colors, which I need little of, very little of, and then let's start our painting. Be right back. Guys, one more thing to note is I was just doing this bronze, and I've had, I just put 5 grams of paint, but I've had to almost put 5 grams of water in this to get the consistency, because some paints are a little bit thicker. So this is a rough idea, but sometimes with some of the metallics and other colors, I think mostly metallics it should be, you may have to add a little bit more water, but just add little bit by little bit so that the pigment doesn't break and you get your consistency. Okay guys, now that we've mixed all our colors, grab your tea, coffee. I'm drinking Indian chai, or whatever your preference is. And let's get started. So by this experiment of measuring, I figured out that I mix more water in just the paint and water paintings that I do than I thought. So if I'm doing 40 grams of paint and 30 grams of water, that's like 75% water. You have to be careful about what paint you use. Some of the better brands, I get Liquitex or System 3 acrylics easily in India, so I tend to use that. But I think Amsterdam paint is very good. I've used it once, and it's a beautiful paint brand. And I think the better brands let you use a little bit more water. And the sort of less expensive ones, the pigments may break down. So I've never used anything that is less expensive than Liquitex or System 3, or this local brand that I get, Brustro. With those, it works out, this kind of a consistency. So let's start this painting. You can put this in low, and I have the heat setting off, and I'm just going to spread the paint. I'm going to do is I'm going to have it at the higher setting, but I'm just going to add some more paint. You know, it all depends on your blow dryer. That's that. Let's get the sides. You see a little splatter, which you can avoid by adjusting the speed. And also, it also depends on, like, if you use, you know, the water consistency. If you use more pouring medium, it's a little bit heavier consistency, the paint, so the mixture. So it doesn't splatter as much, but if you use just water, you do have that tendency. So that goes, and you know, this will dry flat, so you don't have to worry too much about that. So I'm just going to give it a run with the blowtorch. To get any bubbles out. Now I am realizing that the consistency is a little bit thinner than what I usually do. So, you know, the 30-40, you can even make 40 grams of paint or 40 milliliters of paint and 25 milliliters of water, and that should work also. All right, so let's go with the light blue. Then I'm going to use the Phthalo green. Not too much, because green does overtake. So a little bit of white. Some more blue. And sometimes layering helps. Then some gold. And some copper. Just a little. Let's do some base paint all around. Okay, that looks about right. Okay guys, let's blow over the base color. I think I'm going to do it at a little bit of an angle on low setting. Okay, that looks pretty. I'm going to do a little bit of torching. Very interesting, not much cells, but it could still happen. Even though in paint and water, you tend to get a bit more cells and interest, but the colors are beautiful. Maybe it was the consistency. I've never measured anything and before, but in this case I have measured. So let's see what I get. Okay, so this is already enough, so I'm just going to blow a little bit. I'm gonna use my mouth now, guys. Okay, there's some copper there. turn this around. Okay guys, I think that's it. And remember, I'm going to use the same colors, except I'm going to vary it with, instead of the phthalo green, I'm going to be putting the rose madder, the red color, right? Okay, let's get the sides. A lot of blue over here that dripped off. Okay, so let's start with the blue. Then I'm going to go with the rose madder or red, whichever color you guys want to use. Just a little bit. Some white. Some more blue. Gold. And a tad bit of copper. Now, you know, if that happens, you can just take it off. Just touch it and it just comes off, and you can just add some more. Even though, you know, when you blow it out, it'll probably get covered in that. Okay, so let's do blue all around. Okay, guys. All right, let's do a different composition. I think I did that at an angle. This one I'll just go straight. Look at that. The red created the cells. It's all in the consistency. Let it sit for 2 seconds. all I'm going to do. Just going to tweak it a little bit with my mouth, but that's all I'm going to do. Right over here, I'm going to blow. There we go. Okay guys, let's give it a hit with the blowtorch. Okay, I do see that there's a lot of color over here, but it's so pretty that I don't want to disturb it. There. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just gonna, you know, what you should do at the end is just run your hands at the edges at the bottom, because it tends to pull the paint down. You know, your design can shift and move and it can drag it down. And you don't want that to happen once you're happy with the composition. All right, so let me wash my hands, get both the paintings together, and be right back. You can see just varying one color and how different the paintings look, but I love that base blue color that ties both of them together. This one, I did not get too many cells. This is the first time I've measured everything, all my paints, and have had it the same consistency, and I'm wondering if that had to do anything with it. But usually I get much more details and more cells if I use just paint and water. And this one I got much more because of that red color. Gold is just so beautiful. And look at that with the softer edges. More cells. Beautiful blend of colors. I think this color combination was a big hit, but I'm going to use more of it. And this one a bit more subtle, and the green is just a beautiful, beautiful green. I'm seeing more green than what you guys are seeing. I think you guys are seeing a little bit of a contrast, but that darker green that you're seeing is more vibrant and more brighter for me. So that's the edges. And I'm going to show you how this dries and make it part of this video. And please head on to my Instagram. I do post everything there as well, the dried results, as well as when I finish these paintings with framing them to put it on the website. And you'll enjoy that because I make short little videos in my Instagram. Okay, please subscribe. And this was a great experiment. I think I learned a lot about how much paint, how much water, and now I know how much consistency of, how much ratio of paint to water I usually put, which I was just eyeballing all the time. So thank you for that. I think you guys made me do that. So come on back, head on back to my next video, and I'll see you then. Bye.